Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm back today to do another classic movie review, and today it's the 80s classic Without a Clue that stars Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley, but also has appearances by Jeffrey Jones and Paul Freeman. And this is a Sherlock Holmes movie, and I got to thinking after watching Murder on the Orient Express the other day. As I mentioned in there, that I've never really been a huge fan of Poirot. Sherlock Holmes has always been my choice of detective when it comes to movies and TV shows. And I suddenly remembered this movie Without a Clue, and it's a long time since I've seen it. And it's a fantastic movie, but it's a Sherlock Holmes movie with a twist. And if you've never seen Without a Clue, what we get with this movie essentially is we get Michael Caine playing Sherlock Holmes and Ben Kingsley playing Dr. John Watson. But the twist here is that actually Sherlock Holmes is an imbecile. And it's actually Watson who's the genius, and it's actually Watson with all the brains, and he actually hires an actor called Reginald Kincaid, i.e. Michael Caine, to play this character of Sherlock Holmes. Because he explains in the movie that some years ago he wanted to be accepted into this renowned hospital as a doctor, and he helped the police with this investigation, and he knew that the hospital would frown upon his extracurricular activities, his detective work. So he kept it secret and created this character Sherlock Holmes. But the massive demand from the public to find out who this person was Sherlock Holmes, he had to create this character, so he hired this actor Michael Caine, Reginald Kincaid. But now he's stuck with him basically. He's stuck with Michael Caine, who's a complete imbecile. He's always making mistakes, and they don't get on particularly well. So that's the twist here that we get with this movie. But the mystery that they have to solve here in this, it's like a forgery. There's like a forgery ring going round, but with far-reaching ramifications, and we have Moriarty involved, things like that, and that's what they've got to do basically. So at the beginning of the movie, you see him solving this mystery. You learn very quickly that it's actually Watson who's the brains and Sherlock Holmes who's the imbecile. They have a huge argument. Sherlock Holmes gets booted out by Watson. He thinks he's free of him. He tries to create this own character of himself. The detective doctor or something like that he calls himself. I forget what it is now. But nobody will have it. Everybody just wants Sherlock Holmes, so he has no choice. He has to go back to him and pretty much beg him to come back as Sherlock Holmes, because he's been asked to solve this massive mystery about forged banknotes. So he comes back, they start this investigation. It takes them to the country up north, where they've got to start the investigation, and it just escalates and escalates. They find out fairly quickly that Moriarty's involved, which terrifies Michael Caine's character Sherlock Holmes, who's scared to death of Moriarty. And it's a really fun movie. This wouldn't probably make my top 10 comedies of all time, but that's not the point. It's a really fun movie. It's fantastic to see two amazingly talented actors like Michael Caine and Ben Kingsley. The chemistry between them in this movie is really fantastic. They're excellent in this movie, but it's got a really good supporting cast. You've got Jeffrey Jones, who you'll know from Ferris Bueller, things like that. He's great in the movie. And Paul Freeman, who plays Moriarty, who was a great villain. He's always played great villains in movies, and he's great as Moriarty. So we get a really fun movie here that does give you some genuine laughs and giggles. But it's so well written and well presented and well directed that it's a joy to watch. It's a real period piece. They've really gone to town on all that sort of stuff, and it is one of those fondly remembered movies from the 80s that not a lot of people remember, unfortunately. But if you like detective movies, if you like Sherlock Holmes especially, and you've never seen Without a Clue, you owe it to yourself to put it on your watch list. It's a Sherlock Holmes movie with a difference, and that's sometimes all you need from a Sherlock Holmes movie, because they can be very samey, and you do need something with a difference, and this gives you something with a difference. Well acted, lovely twist on the characters, very funny at times, easy to watch, and an 80s classic that if you haven't seen, you owe it to yourself to give it a watch. Thanks for watching.